The problem with school bathrooms.
You open the door and immediately you're hit with a smell that makes your nose hairs curl. You already know what's about to happen, but you can't stop it. So you step into the bathroom, scan it to see which stall is safest to use.
Bro, look at the bathrooms. Holy, bro. Where's the staff cleaners, bro? I thought y'all supposed to clean the bathroom, bro. Y'all not even doing y'all jobs. Clean the bathroom.
But newsflash, none of them are. So you go into the one that looks the least like it will give you an incurable disease and wish for the best. That was every single school bathroom trip. And because my schools growing up had literally no rules besides just don't bother the teachers while they're on their lunch break, I have a lot of stories about my experiences with this place. But before I get into these stories that are literally giving me PTSD just to think about, there are some universal things that every school bathroom had that I gotta talk about. First off, the walls were always covered in writing. It looked like...
Yo, why is this true? Every time I go to a school bathroom, it was always some type of written on the wall, and it's not regular too. It's always something profanity or something sexual. It's never normal.
Instead of just putting some cool design like people do on the side of a freeway, it would have something written on it like who has more aura, and then it would have the name Diddy on one side and LeBron on the other, and you see a bunch of tallies under each name. There was one time where I went into the bathroom and someone wrote on the wall, "How are you doing?" But the next day when I went in, right under that message, it said, "Good. How are you?" Then the next day, it said under that message, "I'm good. Thanks for asking." And the next day, under that message, it said, "I'm gonna touch you." That was where the conversation...
Alright, bro. Alright, now, okay. Now, it was a vibe until you said, "I'm going to touch you." Like, why would you say that? Like, what do you mean you gonna touch me, bro? Like, it was cool, bro. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm gonna touch you? Like, come on, bro.
There was no rules for what could be written on that wall. Someone put a phone number on it one time that said, "Call me," and I thought it was funny. So I typed the number into my phone, but when it started ringing, I realized it was my number! Who wrote that on the wall? I never found out, but it just shows what type of things happen in there. And every single bathroom was disgusting. So, of course, you always wanted to make sure you washed your hands after finishing. The only problem was the paper towel dispenser was either empty or jammed, or you had quite literally the worst air drying system ever. You'd press the button and the machine would shoot out less air than my farts do. The soap was always that thin, pink liquid that somehow made your hands feel even more dirty than before you washed them. The mirror always had a smudge that had clearly been there since the building was built. Sometimes it even had pee on it. I really hope that part wasn't just my school. But here's the crazy part. With all of that, the smell, the wet floor, the graffiti, this bathroom was somehow the most eventful place in the entire school.
But the school bathroom is probably like one of the best and worst place to be at. You could legit go to the bathroom where your friends could be there. Y'all could be chilling. Y'all could be laughing. Sometimes slap box or whatever. Y'all could have fun. Now the cons, the bad part, there be shit on the wall. People be vaping. The bathroom smell like piss. Niggas be gooning, all type of stuff. There's so much things in the bathroom that could go right and wrong at the same time.
Things happened in this room than any other room in school. The bathroom was where everything went down every single day, and it had nothing to do with actually using the bathroom, which is exactly where this story starts. Now, unfortunately, as we all know, school toilet paper, if you could even call it actual toilet paper, was thinner than my bank account after spending all my money on pictures of LeBron in a maid dress. Like, if you held up a piece of that toilet paper, you could see your hand on the other side. It was translucent. Yeah, but you didn't expect me to say a word that big, huh? I actually know a lot of big words because I'm very smart. Like, vasectomy, circumcision? I just googled those last two, so I don't actually know what they mean. But anyways, school toilet paper was somehow both rough and weak at the same time. Like, it would scratch you when using it to wipe, but also dissolve on contact.
I had used the number 2 in the school bathroom. Yup, go ahead and clown me, go ahead. My school paper, though, it was not that damn thin. And you can't just use one roll, 2 rolls. You gotta do it like 5-10 times to make sure it's thick. So when you wipe, you wipe.
Engineered specifically to be as useless as possible. So one day, I'm in school, and I always had to go to the bathroom the same time every day. My body was on a consistent clock, and it always had to go during third period. But this day was worse, because I had to go number 2. Now let's make something very clear. I did everything in my power to not go number 2 in the restroom. I was clenching my cheeks for an hour, but then I felt a fart coming that I realized was definitely not just a fart. And I knew if I didn't use the bathroom, 4th period would come, and my leg would suddenly have a brown streak going down it. So I tap my teacher on the shoulder and say,
"Hey, I need to go to the bathroom for a while. I promise I'm not trying to skip school, but if you don't let me go, it will smell like a baby's diaper inside this classroom."
So she lets me go, and I arrive at the bathroom. I pick the least horrible stall, then I wipe the toilet down about 40 times and do my business. I don't know if this is TMI, but I felt like I was fighting in World War II trying to get this log out. Anyways,
now I'm gonna be honest, going to the bathroom and wiping it down like 40 times is so reasonable, bro. Like, yo, people be pissing on the toilet. People be gooning on the toilet. There be so much things that be be going on that toilet. Me, I take it to the next level. Even though I wipe it like 50, 60 times, bro, I'm putting like 3 layers of paper napkins, I ain't gonna lie, and then doing my business. There's no way I'm not doing that, bro.
I don't know if this is TMI, but I felt like I was fighting in World War II trying to get this log out. Anyways, eventually it's time to wipe. So I reach for the toilet paper roll, but there's a problem. There's maybe 1.5 rotations left on it. So I start pulling slowly, gently, knowing I have to use every single piece I have left perfectly. But what happens when I try pulling? It tears immediately. Of course it does. I look at what I have in my hand, which is about this much, and I do the calculation to see if I'm gonna be able to do this. The calculation is not in my favor. So I use the one piece of toilet paper I have left and hope that I get a ghost wipe and I can just leave the bathroom.
Bro, what you gonna do with that little piece of toilet paper, bro? You're not gonna wipe nothing, bro. Your hand is gonna pick up the doodle. You're not wiping nothing, my boy.
But of course I didn't. Once the last piece was all used up, I still had a lot of work to do. Now let me ask you, what would you do in this situation? This isn't a rhetorical question either. Like, actually comment what you would do, because I'm still not sure if I made the right decision. But what happened next is something I really hope no one watching this ever has to go through, because I made sure the coast was clear. Then I opened the door to my stall, crab walked to the next stall, took the roll from that one, and went back to my stall as quickly as possible. If someone had walked into the bathroom in this moment, I'm pretty sure I would have been either expelled for public indecency or screenshotted and had pictures taken of me that would still be on the internet today.
If it gets to the point that you have to go to the other stall and wipe your butt, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm not going back and forth, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go to the other stall, wipe my butt, flush it, and then when I'm done, I go back to the other stall, flush it, and, you know, dip right after. Wash my hands and dip. There's no way I'm about to crab walk to the other stall just to get the paper and then come back to my stall, wipe. No, I'm not doing all that.
Neither of those things happened though. I hope. So I took the roll from the other stall, and you might think this is where the pain and suffering of this story ends. But no, because remember how I said how thin the toilet paper was? Well, when I tried using this toilet paper to wipe, it ripped as I was wiping. And when I looked at my hand, let's just say my hand was a little more brown than it is right now. I don't think I need to elaborate anymore. I finished up after this nightmare, walked back to third period, and said nothing to no one. This is why when you look around at people in public, you never know what's going on inside people's lives. I doubt anyone looking at me in that moment would have guessed that 5 minutes ago, I was fighting the Dookie monster in the bathroom. But I'm not the type of person that will just have an experience like this and let it go. No, I don't want to see this happen to anyone else. So I'm making a petition to make the toilet paper in bathrooms thicker. Now, does getting signatures on a petition actually do anything? I have no idea, but I see other people online do it, so I'm gonna do it too. The crazy part is, every single bathroom was like this. It didn't matter what level of school you were in.
But I don't know what type of bathroom you went to, bro, but my school, they made sure they had thick paper towels, bro. There's never in time I went to school and there was like, thin. I don't know what you got going on, but that never happened to me.
All had horrible toilet paper. I once went to Harvard, not because I actually went to school there. I was just visiting a friend. He didn't go to school there either. He was just as dumb as me. But he lived by there. But we were on their campus, and we went to their bathroom, and even they had horrible toilet paper. So every single grade of school has it. But it's not until about middle school where it becomes very obvious that the bathroom is not being used as just a bathroom. No one tells you that the school bathroom evolves as you get older. Like, yes, technically, some people go in there and use it to pee. But that's almost incidental once you get to middle school. In your first couple years of school, the kids aren't as evil as when they get older. So the bathrooms are clean and usually pretty quiet. But once you get to middle school, everything changes. Schools take away recess and suddenly kids don't want to behave anymore. My very first day of middle school, I walk into the bathroom and I'm absolutely shocked. First thing I notice, the smell. There was a strong artificial scent of bubblegum, which was odd. I was thinking they must have sprayed Febreze in here. But I quickly found out that smell was coming from people vaping.
You're like 14 in middle school and you're vaping. Like, that's generally kind of crazy, bro. When I was in middle school and I seen people vape, in my mind, I used to be like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you vaping? Like, what is so good about vaping?
Could a room smell like diarrhea and bubblegum at the same time? I don't know, but it did. And in the very back stall of the bathroom, it was cloudy. I saw about 4 people's shoes under that stall, so I went over to see what was going on, because I figured they were having a bonfire or something. But no, it was just all their vape clouds. Anyways, I do my business, leave.
You know what's crazy, bro? They would legit vape inside the bathroom, knowing the bathroom smell like doodle, bro. Because, like, if you think about it, the vape, it need air. Like, I guess when you inhale it, it inhale air for you to blow out vape. I don't know how vape works, but you're legit inhaling poop. Like, if you think about that? Like, that's so disgusting.
Move on with my day. But the next day, I go back into the bathroom, wondering what I'll see today. And there's a fight happening. All these things that never happened in the bathroom in elementary school were now happening here. Now, the bathroom had an unspoken agreement when it came to fights that I learned that day. If you need to settle something, you go to the bathroom. It was basically Fight Club. But the vaping and the fights, that you expected. What you could not anticipate was the completely random stuff. One time, I walked into the bathroom and there were two kids doing a speed eating contest with Lunchables. Now, I'm sure you're very confused, so let me elaborate. These kids had lined the Lunchables up on the counter, the same counter that probably had every germ under the sun, and one kid would say,
3, 2, 1, go!
Then they would build their Lunchable as fast as possible and eat it. 3 more people were just standing there watching. You may ask why they were doing this, and I was wondering that too. So I asked what was going on, and they just went,
To be honest, I don't really know.
So y'all just doing it just to entertain yourself. That's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that never happened to me, but just to do it, bro. Like, you don't know, just to entertain yourself. That's kind of crazy, generally, if you ask me.
Animal, have a great day.
There's 2 things that could have happened to those kids. Either A, they got really sick from eating those Lunchables and may never recover, or B, they built up an immunity so strong, almost giving them superpowers, and they'll probably never get sick in their life again. You may wonder, why did the bathroom ever become the place where everything happened? Well, the answer is, this was the only spot on campus that had no adult supervision. Every hallway, every classroom, every cafeteria, someone was...
Every time I use the bathroom, but there will always be a security right next to the bathroom. I have no idea. I don't know. But every time I use the bathroom, it would just always be a security in the hallway monitoring the bathroom and just monitoring the hallways every single time. There's never a time I don't see them.
Either cameras, teachers, or administrators. But the bathroom, it was a safe space. And we abused that. Especially on this one day where I had 3 minutes before my next class started. I walked into the bathroom just trying to mind my own business. But I stopped moving immediately after pushing that door open because there's a kid, one singular kid, standing in the direct center of the bathroom. He's not near a toilet. He's not at the sink. He's in the center. And he's giving a speech. He's got the hand gestures going, making eye contact with the wall, literally looking like he's giving a TED Talk. When I walk in, he does not stop. He doesn't even flinch. I look around and think to myself,
Is there some sort of audience I'm not seeing?
I mean, kinda. There's one other kid at the sink who has clearly been there for a while. He's just standing there with his wet hands. Then there's another kid using one of the urinals with his pants down to his ankles. Wasn't expecting to see the moon at 9:30 a.m. But the speech kid makes eye contact with me, and I immediately look away because I need to get in and get out so I can get to class on time. I walk to my urinal and do my business, but he's still going. I'm starting to hear him say phrases like,
And that's exactly why. Nobody wants to acknowledge this, but...
you could tell there is passion in his voice, but I still don't know what he's actually talking about. So I finish, wash my hands, and I look back one more time before I leave. Now, the kid from the sink is gone, and it's just me and the speech kid left alone in there.
Ain't gonna let my boy screw everything, boy. I am believing ASAP. Screw that. I'm not about to sit there and listen to your speech. I am leaving.
Definitely wasn't talking to anyone. But right as I'm about to leave the bathroom, he breaks character for the first time and goes,
Because this is the reason... Hey,
he taps on the back of my shoulder, and I just go, but I reluctantly turn around towards him, and he says,
how was that? How was what? I don't even know what you just did.
Then he goes,
My speech for history. Did it sound good?
now I figured out what he was doing. So I looked him in the eyes and said,
Dude, you are going to ace that speech.
now I had no idea what he...
That boy know damn well he's lying. He is not acing nothing. Me personally, bro, screw everything, bro. I'm not about to be there and listen to everything about to say, my boy. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, wash my hands and dip.
actually said in the speech, but he said it with so much confidence that I'm sure he did great. But that situation perfectly described the bathroom. Anything you needed to do, the bathroom was the spot for it. And the teachers knew this. Because contrary to popular belief, I'm pretty sure teachers themselves actually went to school once too. So they knew all the tips and tricks about the bathroom. They would be suspicious about what was happening in there. And that knowledge changed everything about how they handled the bathroom request.
Alright, YouTube, that is the end of the video. If y'all did enjoy this video, make sure I like, comment, and subscribe, turn on post notification. We're on the road getting 10,000 subs, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Yeah.